Hey, what's up, boys and girls? In today's video, we're going to cover something that is of rather great importance. I'm sure you've already seen my last video titled How to Get Any Pokemon You Want in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. And of course, if you're watching that, you've probably already wondered, what is the difference between a hacked Pokemon, an illegal Pokemon, a legal Pokemon, and a legit Pokemon? Now, there's a lot of differences, some small, some larger than others, but I think it's about average size. So what we're going to do is we're going to boot up the game. I'm actually going to boot up a cheated save file that I transferred from a hacked Switch. Now, there aren't any hacked Pokemon on here per se, but there are legal Pokemon and then there are legit Pokemon. So I'm going to show you the difference between a legit Pokemon and a hacked Pokemon. And I'll show you the amount of effort that it takes to make a legit Pokemon and the amount of effort that it takes to make one from Syspot. Okay? Sound fair? We're going to start with Syspot. That way we can have one ready. So we're going to go out, we're going to catch something with a quick ball, and that's where we're going to start. I'm going to turn the game down a little because I remember last time it was a little bit too loud. This, by the way, I was trying to run this earlier rather hard. It's a Hippowdon with ice typing. You should do that for a comp. Deadass, you should do that. Singles comp, VGC comp, I don't care. Anybody who knows me knows that I like my singles, but ice type Hippowdon is the perfect counter to everything. If that thing is ice type, its weaknesses that it has all get countered by its move pool. Random, figured I'd throw that out there. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at a certain Pokemon. It doesn't matter what, really. I want to look at something that hasn't been Syspot created, and I've only got a handful of Syspot created Pokemon since I don't play competitive that much. I guess we could take a Palmat and we could do it. Now, a lot of people are obviously going to breed for their 6 IVs, but we're not going to do that. What we are going to do, though, is we are going to breed this Palmat. And I'll show you why in just a second. So let's get this little Lichen Rock that I made. Really viable singles Pokemon, by the way, but very hard to figure out. If you have a good set for a Lichen Rock, do let me know. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to breed this Palmat with a Ditto, and I'll show you guys how to get the nature that you want. So we're going to start there. We're going to breed it a couple of times. I'm not going to breed for 6 IV because that would make this video longer than it needs to be. Instead, I'm going to use gold bottle caps. How do you get gold bottle caps in this game? Pretty sure you have to run raids for those. You can buy bottle caps, so you can do single IVs at a time, but bottle caps are very expensive. So if you want to farm money, you want to spend the time to do that, you go ahead. Get your legit Pokemon the way you want to get your legit Pokemon. Okay? I will try to show the costs of all of these items in game so that you know whenever you're trying to build legit how much it's going to cost you to do it the quickest way possible. Okay? Now, there are a lot of situations where you'll need an ability patch or you'll need an ability capsule to get your Pokemon to the comp ability that it needs. So in this case, this Lichen Rock, I don't really care what its normal ability was, but now its ability is no guard, which means that all of the incoming and outgoing attacks will always hit. And that's great for moves like Stone Edge, Rock Tomb, and Rock Slide. Very important for those kinds of moves. But if you don't have an ability patch, which you have to grind for, then get over it. I don't know what to tell you. But that's if you're going for legit. And going legit's fine. I have nothing against going legit. I did it for years. I started my competitive Pokemon journey and my Pokemon journey in general, really, in X and Y. And had it not been for my failed college, I probably wouldn't be here. Seriously. So let's go ahead and grab a Ditto. I think we want Palmat is a physical attacker. So we're going to get an Adamant Ditto, and we're going to swap this Palisand out for the Palmat. So we're going to do that. And we're going to go find a good place to breed. I'll show you my favorite place too, in case you want to go breeding. Head on over to ye ol' Medali. Yeah, favorite place. I'll show you why. I found it one time and thought, well, this is where I'm breeding forever. It's where I shiny hunt. It's where I do everything I want to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this Palmat. I may have already minted his nature. I didn't. So it's mild. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to our held items. We're going to give this Ditto, instead of a Destiny Knot, we're going to give it an Everstone. So let's go find that. That is important. An Everstone will pass down the nature 100% of the time. So we'll go ahead and give it that. And then we're going to make our way over to the restaurant. That's right back here in Medali. There's a little bit of delay from this. My face is covering the map. It doesn't matter. You guys saw the bigger picture. So you want to get the Comte de Files. Comte du Files. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I apologize. I feel like I'm saying it more French when it's probably more Spanish. Either way, grab this. Egg power 2. Just good enough. No big deal. Have ourselves a sandwich. Have ourselves a good old Comte du Files. Comte du Files. It's like a British person trying to say, like speaking Spanish. Como estas? Alright, let's head on out here to the field. Go on out here. I'm not going to clip this part. I want you guys to know I do not plan on clipping this at all. Picnic basket. Alright, this is the part I won't be clipping. We're going to stay here. There's nothing else in my party. We're going to hatch the egg. We're actually going to... One of my favorite things to do is call Miraiden, throw the ball, get them away from this basket, and there we go. We're just going to stand here because AFK breeding is the new generation. I didn't mind running around for my eggs, but it's whatever. I'm not mad about it. You get 10 eggs if you wait 5 minutes. So if we wait like 1 minute, you get like 1 egg. Oh, look at that. There's the egg. So we're going to go ahead and get one. And we're done. Right? We got the nature that we want. So that's all we need. We could have used a mint. But mints are expensive too. I think they're 20,000 Poké Dollars. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go take this egg. We're going to swap it out with Palmat. And then we're going to take Ditto. We're going to put him back where he... Whoa. No, we're not. Let's get this Volcarona. You do have flame body, right? Yeah. I'll put that there. And I'm going to put my Ditto back. A very organized man. All right. So now we're going to run back and forth right here until it hatches. And since egg power is still on it, and it should affect that. I don't know. Egg power is weird. I've never completely understood it. I just know it makes the Pokemon make babies faster. And that's all I care about right now is making fast babies. Sometimes the quickies are best for the... Look, we have an egg. If it would have popped out shiny, I would have flipped my table. I would have absolutely flipped this desk. Let's hop on off Miraiden, and we're going to go look at our little fella. So he's probably got some shite stats. Let's be real here. We'll have to look at him in boxes. So he has some... He has 2 perfect IVs. What a cutie. He adopted 2 from that Ditto. So he has 2 perfect IVs. He has pretty good special defense. Defense is very good. Speed, decent. HP, pretty good. Now, I said before I was going to show you guys the prices. You can look it up yourself. since you guys want to spend so much time making legit Pokemon, that's on you. Realistically, like I said, I'm not mad at anybody for getting mad at Syspot. I think it's ridiculous because Syspot is accessible to everybody, and even top rated competitive players use PK Hex to save themselves some time. A lot of times people don't have time to rework their teams, nor do they have the time to grind for the in-game currency to get the items that they need to make Pokemon that are perfect. Right, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to go make this Palmat perfect. What we're going to do first is we're going to head on over to Montana, whatever. We're going to fly there. We're going to fly there. Now, you're probably like, wait, what are you doing? Well, I'll show you what I'm doing. You probably already know if you play comp. So there's a little fella back here. He's got an Abahunamahasno. We're going to stand right here. Now, we're going to go into our bag. Now, we know Palmat, its base stats, or its best base stats, are its speed and its physical attack. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what it's getting. So, since this is a brand new Palmy, this is the worst decision I've ever made. I realize I have to walk with this stupid thing to evolve it. Since this is a brand new Palmy, we're going to give him protein. We're going to give him 26. I don't know if you know the cost of protein in this game, but it's expensive. And if you'd rather manually EV train, not a big deal. I've also done that in this game. As long as you have the correct power item and you are farming the most high yielding EV Pokemon possible, typically Paradox Pokemon in this game, that works too. It's less resources in terms of in-game currency, but it's more of your time. So you trade time for in-game currency. Both ways, you're kind of spending time either way. So we're going to give it some protein, and we're going to give it some carbos. It takes 26 to max it out. And then it's got that one stat that you can give it some extra of. So we're just going to give it an HP up. A singular HP up. Now we are going to take this thing to level 50. I want to be really precise, so I'm going to use 49 rare candies. And you're probably like, well, you don't have any right to talk because you cheated all your items in. Go ahead, shoot your load if you want. I don't have time. Okay? Most people who use Syspot don't have time. Think of breeding your Pokemon as taking the scenic route. Okay? Taking in everything about the game. You're in, I don't know, you're in Kentucky and you've just hopped a coal train and you're on your way to Mississippi. Okay? You've taken the scenic route and you're going a very long way. Now, for Syspot, imagine you're in Japan and you just took a bullet train to go from Tokyo to Nagasaki. I don't know. Come on now. Which one would you rather take? You're still going to see some pretty sights along the way, but you're going to get to your destination so much quicker. And why would you want to waste your time when comp building is ever changing? The meta is always changing, and when it is stable, you still have to rework your team until it's perfect. So now we have our Palmat. He's level 50. So we're going to go over here. We're going to talk to this fella. We're going to hyper train, and we're going to hyper train our Palmo. We're going to select it. We're going to give it a gold bottle cap. Or if you have 6 bottle caps or 5 bottle caps, if you have 5, you can make everything perfect except for special attack. Pretty easy. So you only ever need 5 bottle caps tops for each Pokemon. But if you want 6 IVs, hyper train the crap out of it. Do what you got to do. We're going to not continue that. And we are going to walk forever and a half with Palmat here. Yeah. Love the Pokemon, hate having to walk with it. It is so dreadfully slow. Oh, it's keeping up. I lied. Maybe it's not dreadfully slow. Maybe it'll get cold here. We're just gonna make our way down the little mountain here. I think by the time we reach the end, he should be ready to eat a rare candy and evolve. This process to me would have been easier if I hadn't picked Palmo. So disregard the fact that this may take longer than it would for any other competitive Pokemon. I'm sure most people don't use Palmo. I'm a big fan. I love Arm Thrust. I love its shock move. No, Frostlass, not like this. Oh no. Oh no, not like this. Can Thundershock just run away? Yeah. When all else fails, hit the bricks. I hate the Pokemon that are here because they're all very adamant about shoving their power claws in you, except for like Cubchoo and stuff like that. But yeah, we're just gonna make our way down the mountain. And since we made Palmo level 50, just enough to hyper train it, we can kind of keep giving it rare candies until finally it evolves. Remember, for comp, you only need level 50 Pokemon. You only need level 50 Pokemon, since if you play flat rolls, everything goes to 50 anyway. I'm not a big fan of unrestricted. Not fun. Too many people like to use legendaries. It's gonna eat me. He's after me. All right. Feel like I'm playing Legends Arceus again, dude. Jesus Christ. Let's get past this. Where'd my Palmo go? Oh, I thought the Beartic got him, dude. Beartic just put it in and never took it out. This might be enough. I think it's 1,000 steps. It might be 100, but I think it's 1,000. So we're going to go ahead and give this little fella a rare candy. Nope, that wasn't enough. All right, we're going to keep going. Okay, yeah, we're going to skip this part. All right, so one return back to the Pokeball and a rare candy later. So it didn't take much longer at all. I should have just not said I was going to skip it, but I said I did, so I did anyway. But here we are. Palmo's evolving. My wife cut my hair last night. Okay. So here is Palmat. I like Revival Blessing if I was going to use it as a healer, but I'm not that kind of person. So Palmo, Palmat, Palmat. Now, is it done? Is it comp ready? Well, let's get the checks. Okay. So we have, it has Volt Absorb. If hit by an electric type, it restores health instead of losing through taking damage. Its moves aren't comp ready. That's okay. Any TMs that we need, we can go get TMs. Typically not expensive. They're like, depending on the TM, you could go make it at the Pokemon Center. No big deal. You might already have the one you need, or you could just go find it. Still a time sink, but not a big deal. As far as stats go, if we look at the boxes, we hyper trained it. So it's all 6 IV. They're all 31. It's pseudo 6 IV, but they count. And then if we look, its Terra type is electric, which is fine because that's the type we'd be using it for unless we wanted it as fighting. And of course, then you would have to do a time sync and you would have to run X amount of raid dens for the type that you want it to be. And after you get that, you'll have to go and get it changed. And if you didn't like that Terra typing, you'd have to grind more and more dens. That's fine if you enjoy doing that and you have the time to do it. So this Palmat is level 52. It is hyper trained, all 6 stats. Now we're going to give it I guess just a random set of moves. I don't really know what Palmat runs competitively, honestly. There's a move that I really like, but I don't know what level it learns it. So we'll just swap Growl out with Close Combat. And we'll leave... Well, we need to swap out Thunder Shock because that's not a physical move. We could probably do Spark, do Nuzzle. I would say Spark in place of T-Bolt or Thunder Shock here. It's stronger, it's physical, so it's gonna play into the rest of its stats. So we're gonna take note of this. We're gonna write it down. I'm gonna put it in Showdown format. Okay, and before we do that, I'm actually going to give it an item. In this case, since it only knows attack moves and its coverage is pretty good, we're going to go give it a choice band. So let's go ahead and find a choice band. You can buy choice bands at Chansey's Gifts, Chansey's Items, or whatever. I can't fully remember. So we're going to give it a choice band. Okay, now hover over the video right now and see how far along we are. Remembering that I skipped two parts. Remembering that I skipped 2 parts. Okay? Look at that time that it took and think, wow, that's not too bad. And it's not. Okay? But I can also show you something else that takes significantly less time. It'll actually have 6 IVs instead of just being hyper trained. And it'll have the item. You don't have to worry about using any items at all. Like you don't have to use protein. You don't have to use carbos. You don't have to use gold bottle caps. You don't have to use bottle caps. You don't have to go out and buy a choice band. You don't have to do any of that. You do not have to do half of the time sink that other people do. Is it cheating? No. It's not cheating because it's accessible to everyone. Anyone and everyone who finds my last video, and I'm not the only Sysbot creator out there. I hate to admit that. I may have been one of the first, and that's why the server's so big, but I'm not the only Sysbot creator out there, right? I'm not the only person who has, I might be the only person who has 12 hack switches, 13 hack switches running for people in a server. I might be the only person doing that. But Sysbot's accessible, and V1 version 1 switches, so you can use PK hex. Those are very accessible. They're like $230, but if you're playing competitive and you want to get your Pokemon even faster than Sysbot, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer whatsoever. So I mean, if you're very serious about comp and you want to make Pokemon faster than that, if you want to have a whole team in the amount of time that it took me to make that one Palmat, it's as simple as putting in a command. So I'm going to go into my notes and I'm going to type something out. I'm going to go .trade Palmat at choice band, if I can spell, at choice band. And then for the... I want to make the same one. So it would be Palmat F. We're going to make it a female. This should work as long as I don't screw this up. So .trade Palmat F at choice band. And then its EVs are 252 ATK. And then we'll add a slash. You can't see it because I'm doing it on my phone, but no big deal. I'll actually be right back after I get this typed out. I'll probably use Showdown to save some time. So I will see you guys in just a second and I'll show you the build on Showdown. All right. So I have made this exact same Palmat over in Showdown, same level, same everything. Okay. So what we'll do is I'm going to show it to you if it'll come through, if it'll focus. It probably won't. Look at that in the little circle where my face would usually be. That's the Showdown set. It reads Palmat, female at choice band, ability Volt Absorb, and then level 52, Terra type electric, EVs 252 attack, 252 speed, adamant nature, arm thrust, close combat, spark, wild charge. So we're going to copy that set, and much like in the how to get any Pokemon you want in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet video, much like that, all we're going to do is we're going to go into Syspot. Now for me, I'm going to use Cora Iden, the one that's only available to patrons, by the way. When you do that, I'm actually going to connect to the internet first. So this is a hellscape. So we're going to push L, we're going to connect to the internet because you have to be connected to the internet. I don't live next to you. I don't know why you would think you would be able to connect to me through LAN. Some people do though. I do have Nintendo Switch Online. You do need that. Shouldn't have to tell people that either. So we're going to go ahead and send it. Like I'm over here in the Discord. This is Coriden. It's got stars next to it. So I get my trades instantly, just like anybody who signs up to become a patron. So we will do that. We'll go here and he's going to give me a trade code, and it's going to be 1645. And he says, I'm waiting for you. So I'm going to go ahead and start searching. Searching for a trade partner. Trade partner's been found. We're going to try to find something kind of quick so the bot doesn't cancel on us. We'll just trade that Dodonzo. It's probably my Titan Dodonzo, which is unfortunate, but go ahead and trade for this Palmat. I didn't make it shiny, didn't do anything special to it. Not that that's another thing I'll have to explain. Give me a minute. But I could have made it shiny. Could have cut myself some shiny hunting time because these aren't trophies to me. If I were to use them in comp, if I like the shiny color more, I'll make it shiny. If I really want it shiny and I want it to be a reward, I'll hunt it. So take it what you will. So PKCL Pokemon Collection sent you Palmat. So now we're going to exit out. Look at that. It's level 52. Could you fucking imagine? Could you imagine? All right. So we're going to back out. Now I'm going to leave a gap between these two. So we've got Palmat up top, the one that we made, and then Volcarona, and then we're gonna put Palmat just under it. Both of these Palmats are perfect. Okay, I made one, the bot made the other. Okay, so here's this Palmat, the one we made, original trainer Aoi, which is the Japanese canon name for Juliana. So choice band, electric, blah blah blah, IVs, stuff like that. This is the one we just got. Now, I want to show you something because I don't think it'll be much different. So if we look here, this Pokemon is pretty adamant by nature. I first met it when it hatched from an egg. I'd received the egg on 12/31/2022 from a picnic. It hatched on 12/31/2022 when I was in Medali. It's mischievous. This is the bot one that I just moved to. This Pokemon is pretty adamant by nature. It seems hatched from an egg that was received on 12/31/2022, which its original trainer got from a picnic. It hatched on 12/31/2022, apparently in Area 1 of South Province. That is legal. Just like ours. Hatched from an egg. The only difference here is I first met it when I hatched from an egg, or when it hatched from an egg. I came first because I was the egg. I first met it when it hatched from an egg. I'd received the egg on blah, blah, blah from a picnic. This, the one that came from the bot, its original trainer got it from a picnic. So that means someone traded it to us. If you think that makes a Pokemon illegal, you need to quit gatekeeping. Now, we will look at its stats. Arm thrust, close combat, spark, wild charge. Notice the difference? There's not much of one. Arm thrust, close combat, spark, wild charge. This one has less PP. Do you know why? Because the bot automatically uses all PP max on the moves. So it will be ready to go for comp. Now I could go grab PP max and hand it over here. And I could max out arm thrust, close combat, spark, and wild charge. And it'd be fine. And if we look at the stats, they're the exact same. Am I right? The only difference is I put that one extra EV into HP earlier. You guys saw that. And then we'll go over into the boxes. And we will look here. This one is all hyper trained. And this Palmat is all best. Which means that if you had bred a 6 IV, which takes not that long if you have a 6 IV Ditto, but it can take a while if you're passing down one stat at a time. So what's the difference here? And if you're asking what the difference is, the real difference, this Palmat in the top, the one we're looking at, I made it. It's mine. It's mine. I made it. It's legit. It was my Palmat that I bred from a Palmat, one that I caught in the game. I bred it. It has my original trainer name. It has everything it needs. It's mine. Okay. Now I could have given it my OT and stuff to make it look a little bit more legit, like I had caught it in the game, but that part doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter to people. If you take it into land and they say, oh, your friend traded you this, get out. That's not how that works. Okay. This one is legal. Okay. It's not legit. It wasn't obtained in the game. It was created. It was put in box 1, slot 1, and it was traded. But it's legal. Okay. This Palmat is legal. It can be used online. It can be used for raids, trades, and battles. You could use it in LAN. Take it to a tournament. Have fun with it. They're not going to know. And even if they did, they're not going to bat an eye because it has no illegal stats. And if it did have illegal stats, then rest assured, they wouldn't let you have it. Okay, let me get out of this and turn my DMs off so I don't start getting flooded. Do you see what I'm saying? And whether I show it or not, even if I did this on a live stream, there's always going to be people that are like, but it's always an excuse. And that's fine. If you don't like what I'm doing, if you don't like the services that I offer, if you don't like Sysbot, if you don't think that making the game easier to become a competitive player, if you don't think that those walls are already high enough for new people, leave. Okay? If you have a problem with what I do to make people happy, I give some people the first shiny they've ever had. And I also give people the last addition to their competitive team that they needed. You know? I help people. I make people smile. And I do what I can to do that. But if you don't like that, if you want to gatekeep, if you want to tell people that when they create these Pokemon that they're better, that they're stronger, you go ahead. And the next time you spend 2 hours building a comp team, taking it into battle, getting your ass wiped by some Murkrow or Goldango, and you cry and say it's because of Sysbot, I want you to know it's because of you. You suck. You got it? If you lose in Pokemon, it's not the Pokemon themselves. Game Freak has a very sturdy policy against their hacked Pokemon. If I tried to take a Magikarp with Blizzard into a battle, they would say this Pokemon cannot be used online. Sure, sometimes can wink past it, but the Sysbots that we host don't create those kind of Pokemon. So next time you want to blame Syspot for you getting your ass beat, leave it at the door. Okay? Meanwhile, my door's open. Join any time you want. If you want to stop spending 2 to 3 hours building a competitive team, come on in. And truth is, I'm not even mad at the people who think that this stuff is hacked. That's fine. I'm not mad. My door's always open. I just get tired of hearing it, is my only issue. So if you think it's a problem, why don't you try coming in sometime? See what you think about it. If you don't like it, that's fine. I'll see you around. I'm sorry that Pokemon collection and its diverse collection of Syspots wasn't right for you. That's all right. Either way, today you've seen the difference between between a legal Pokemon. I had planned on showing a hacked Pokemon, but there's no point in it because I've already explained the difference. So today I've shown you the difference between a legal Pokemon and a legit Pokemon. All right. And if I ever come across any hacked Pokemon that I can trade myself locally, I will. I'll trade a shiny Tinglu. It's pretty ugly. Not a big fan of the shiny Tinglu. I like shiny Chinpao. It's pretty. It's like a brown and blue instead of white and blue. It's pretty neat, actually. That thing's hacked. But now you know. You know the difference between legal and legit. And I hope it helped. I hope it cleared up some stuff. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And even more so, enjoy your New Year's. I was glad I got to get this video out before New Year's. I've had it planned for a while, and I just didn't know how to execute it. And I still think I could have executed it a little bit better than I did. But yeah. And if anybody has an issue with anything in this video, I guess leave it in the comments. You know, if you want to talk about it a bit more, if you're just confused, I'm more than happy to explain. I'm not the kind of person to shun somebody at the door just because they have a question. No question's a stupid question. But I'm done pandering. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for watching this entire video. And if you stayed to the end, leave a comment saying these are legal, or these Pokemon are legal, or something like that. You all are the true OGs. I love you guys very much, and enjoy your new year, and do me the biggest favor in the world and stay optimistic.